ever get that feeling like you're just clinging on for dear life, trying to control everything at once.
Absolutely.
It's like we're wired to want to be in control, you know?
Yeah.
And especially these days, life just feels, I don't know, it feels like it's moving faster and faster, right?
Right.
And there's just so much coming at us from every direction.
Oh, yeah.
So today, we're going to take a deep dive into a surprisingly simple concept, like almost deceptively simple.
Okay.
And it's all about finding a little more peace, a little more serenity in our lives by, get this, letting go.
Letting go. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're actually going to be unpacking the psychology behind a social media post, believe it or not.
Interesting.
That emphasizes the power of focusing on what you can control and letting go of the rest.
Now, this post, it's part of a larger series, actually. We're jumping in on like day 3 of 7.
Day 3, okay.
But even without all the context, the message itself, it's really resonating with people.
I can see why.
So let's get into it. The post basically says, focus on what you can control, let go of what you can't. Straightforward enough, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's actually some fascinating psychology behind why this message is so sticky, why it sticks with you.
Definitely. Yeah. Because it speaks to something, like I said before, we all crave that feeling of control.
Right.
It's like this innate human desire.
Yeah.
But when we cling to this need to control every little thing, especially when so much of life is, let's face it, totally outside of our control, it backfires.
Right.
That's where the stress comes in, anxiety, all of that. And that's what this post is about, you know? It's about recognizing that and saying, okay, I'm going to shift my energy, shift my focus to what I can actually influence.
Right. And you know what? When you really think about it, we do this all the time, right? It's just we don't always realize we're doing it or that we have the power to choose to make that shift. So, like, take a traffic jam, right? We've all been there, stuck in traffic. We can't magically make the cars disappear as much as we want to.
Right.
But we can choose to put on a podcast, say, or listen to some music, maybe do a little meditation. Like, we can control our response to that situation.
I love that example.
Yeah.
Because it highlights that shift. It's not about, like you said, magically erasing the things that are stressing us out. It's about saying, okay, this is happening. I can't control that, but what can I control in this moment?
Right. And choosing to focus on that.
Exactly.
So much of this resonates, right? But let's talk about the packaging of this message, too. It's interesting, right? Because it's not just about the words themselves. It's the whole vibe.
Right.
You've got emojis, you know, the heart emoji, the hug emoji, all this very positive, very social media language. Like, does that play a role?
No, it absolutely does. It taps into this fascinating thing called social proof.
Okay.
Basically, we're more likely to, I don't know, to buy into an idea, try something new if we see other people doing it, and more importantly, seeing them benefit from it.
So it's like if everyone on Instagram is raving about a new restaurant.
Exactly.
We're way more likely to try it.
Right, because
Right.
our brains are like, well, hey, if it worked for them. It's the same thing with this message of letting go. You see it shared with all these positive emojis, these testimonials about how it's improved people's lives. And suddenly, it doesn't seem like this abstract concept, right?
It becomes more attainable, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. But, okay, we're talking about it, but how do you actually put this into practice, right? Because I don't know about you, but my brain, it likes to worry. It's what it does. It's like a worry machine up there sometimes.
It is. And that's the thing. It's not about, like, suddenly never worrying again.
Right.
It's more about recognizing it when it happens.
Okay.
And then consciously choosing how you want to respond, like a muscle almost, like you're training your brain to react differently.
So how do you train the worry muscle?
Well, there's this simple exercise you can try.
Okay.
Identify one thing that you're worried about right now.
Yeah.
Just one.
Okay.
Got it. Now ask yourself, is this within my control to change?
Okay.
And be honest.
Yeah.
If it's not, if the answer is no, you consciously choose to let it go.
I like that.
Yeah, you acknowledge it. You know, okay, I'm worried about this. But you don't dwell. You let it go.
That's so much easier said than done, though, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But like anything, like any skill, the more you practice, the easier it gets.
Yeah.
And I think even just that first step, recognizing what you can and cannot control,
Yeah.
that alone could be huge for people.
It's like that first step out the door, right?
Exactly.
Get you going.
Yeah.
You know, I actually used a similar technique last week. I was stressing about this deadline at work, like totally freaking out about it.
Oh, yeah.
And then I realized, I was like, wait a minute, I have absolutely zero control over when this thing is due. Like, it's completely out of my hands.
That happened.
Right. So once I accepted that, I was able to shift my focus to something I could control, which was, breaking down the project into smaller tasks.
Right.
It sounds so simple, but it really helped.
It's all about those small shifts, though. Right.
Totally. And it's something you have to be mindful of throughout the day. It's so easy to get swept up in those what ifs. So yeah, next time you're feeling that sense of overwhelm, think back to that social media post even. Focus on what you can control and let go of what you can't. Trust me, your brain will thank you.
I can get behind that.